But places like this, they really do allow a person to get on their feet.
According to the U.S. Department of Housing, over 1 million people use an emergency shelter or transitional housing each year, and 1 in every 200 persons in the U.S. uses a shelter system at some point in their life. Lack of affordable housing and unemployment are the main reasons for people to become homeless and need help. Growing up near Chicago, to me, the homeless were the mysterious people you saw in the city, sleeping under the skyscrapers, asking for change. I always wondered how these people ended up without a place to call home. Years later, my mom would volunteer at a shelter in Florida, and it gave me the chance to report on this growing situation we have, and to meet the people involved. So I talked to a few people at Pinellas Hope near St. Petersburg, Florida, which is run by the Catholic Charities, which is doing their part to help this problem.
My name's Ted, and I lived up underneath the bridge for approximately 4.5 years. I was so depressed and secluded that I didn't really speak with anybody or anything like that. There was a young girl that used to walk by for about a month-long period and used to talk to me every day with something positive to try to get me going so that I could better my life. Then she disappeared, and I decided to get on my feet. I went out, found a job, got me a place to live. I lived in a hotel for a little while, then I finally got an apartment, and then I lost my job due to being laid off, and I ended up in Tent City, and now I'm currently living in Pinellas Hope too. It's a set of apartments that was built to help people to step up from the tents into an apartment. The rent's really reasonable, and it allows a person to get on their feet so that they can better their lives.
I asked how much Ted made on the streets holding up a sign.
I was making a lot of money. I was making between $150 to $250 a day, and I was just spending it helping other people out too, and I wouldn't, walk around and see some family or something and help them out, or gambled and drank and all that.
With an income like that, I wonder how it felt to stop holding that sign up and start to get help from Pinellas Hope.
I felt a lot better. I felt more comfortable with myself. I felt my esteem got better about myself. It's just a lot better way to live. You feel more comfortable. It feels good to go to the grocery store and buy some food and be able to cook it on a stove and not have to eat in the soup line. But places like this, they really do allow a person to get on their feet. But of course, if you're a drinker, you gotta stop drinking, and you gotta possibly get involved with some sort of schooling or work somewhere, or you gotta be productive in order to stay. Right now I think the amount of time that you can stay in a tent is about 3 months. I believe they've lowered it to now, which is plenty of time for a person if they start doing the right thing, start making the right choices. And if they can't make the right choices, these people here will help you with the right choices. They got counselors available for you to see that help to guide you in that right path. Then it's basically up to you to do what you need to do to, get better.
Here at Pinellas Hope, they have a list of rules, including a curfew, and limiting your computer usage for job searches and working on your resume. They require you to take tests to make sure that you aren't using alcohol or drugs, which is a problem in the homeless community. As I toured the facility some more, I got to see the tents, which is where the majority of the approximately 300 people who live here call home. I watched as volunteers worked on platforms for these tents so that they wouldn't become flooded like in the past. I saw areas where the residents could hang out and plant food as well, and I saw people dropping off clothes and food that were immediately put to good use. At the entrance, I met another man who also lives in one of the 80 or so studio apartments.
I've been here a little over a year. I grew up in Grosse Pointe, Michigan. I've been a firefighter, paramedic for 15 years. I was in 9/11 because of all the dust and everything. I just got diagnosed with COPD, borderline emphysema. A lot of medical, rhabdomyolysis, other things. And once I got diagnosed with this, I was getting sick all the time, and they let me go at my job. Doctor told me no more working. When I got out of the hospital, my apartment was cleaned out. I came here. I was in a respite for a little bit, trying to build my strength back up. From that, I started volunteering, helping out. Now I'm in the back apartments. I have my disability. I help out more up here, and we've got people of all ages here, from 18 all the way up. The place does a lot for people. They work with people.
It seemed to be a common thing among those I talked to that this place was very special and provided the help one would need to get back onto their feet. I met people who moved away from Pinellas Hope into apartments off-site that still come back to lend a hand to help those that needed it. Pinellas Hope is not only a place to help the homeless, but it makes those that once were helped want to come back to help others. It is a place that creates hope.